Hey everyone, it's Ross here on MGF Customs, back for another LEGO news video, as today LEGO has finally and officially unveiled the Marvel Studios Disney Plus collectible minifigure series, of course covering Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Wanda Vision, Loki, and What If. Now that's the order that we will be going in for this video, so that's when you'll have to go to war with other collectors in your area to get them as soon as possible. Alright, so Sam Wilson as Captain America. I didn't really get the chance to talk about this previously when it leaked initially, but this is one of the best minifigures of all time. As you can see, LEGO has developed a new hairpiece for Sam, which I know not everyone likes, but I personally think works really well, and obviously the rest of it is just remarkable. LEGO is utilizing double molded arms and legs, and there is printing all over those arms and legs. As you'll see throughout the rest of this video, there is wraparound leg printing here, and it's high detail leg printing too, which is just so awesome, and I cannot wait for this minifigure. But he also of course has the new shield with the updated print that features the rivets within the white there, and also yes, the wings are brick built. Of course I would have preferred a new custom piece for the wings, but it's LEGO and you can't blame LEGO for using LEGO pieces to put together these wings, and I think it's really amazing too, because if I'm not mistaken, all of those designs on the wings are actually printed, and I mean, it just looks fantastic. You also have a detachable red wing piece from his back, of course, as well. So this is just LEGO going above and beyond. I cannot believe this is a real minifigure. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, or of course White Wolf, whichever you prefer, is another fantastic minifigure in this series that I would say has met expectations for the most part, especially with that new torso print. That looks fantastic, but the dark chrome arm with the printed design just looks incredible. And of course he does also have his own set of leg printing too. The only issue with this minifigure, I would say, is the face, which I don't really think captures Sebastian Stan's likeness at all. I'm really not a fan of those eyes or the mouth. I think they kind of blew it with this one, but that's okay. We have other options to swap it out with. And then he also does have the Captain America shield as well. I don't know why. I guess it's just a cool reference. Of course, he was using the shield to train with in this series too, and picked it up a few times, so I guess that's understandable. And hey, I'm not going to complain about getting more of the new Captain America shield. And then Bucky also does come with a pair of knives. Now that brings us to Wanda Vision. Of course, I've already done an entire video on this Wanda Maximoff minifigure. The Scarlet Witch unfortunately has a really poorly misprinted crown that just looks terrible. It is not double molded, and it makes no sense because, as you'll see later in the video, or I'm sure as you've already seen, Sylvie herself with her crown from Loki does actually have the double molded integration into her hairpiece, but then LEGO for whatever reason did not do it here, and I think it's really unfortunate. And even if they couldn't do it, I feel like they really needed to figure out a way, because the crown is just terrible. I already did an entire video about this though. These images, however, do show us that Wanda will have a cape and a pair of red Power Blast pieces, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the torso. I think it's amazing that they included double molded arms for her, and the leg printing is great too, but also the face is additionally not great either. It's really just that whole head that I think is the worst part of this CMF series. Alright, now that brings us to another minifigure that is pretty disappointing in this series. We do have White Vision included here, and I mean, listen, I still don't think this minifigure would look that bad on a shelf, but of course if you take any closer look at it at all, you can instantly recognize that there's just way too many coloration problems going on here. You have light gray as pretty much the base primary color for the body. You have over accentuated like gold accents running throughout the design, and then you have a gold mind stone with blank white eyes when his eyes in the show are very clearly blue. So you have a lot of problems with this minifigure. Of course, I'm sure you can attribute this to whatever concept material LEGO was working with, as has been the case with a lot of LEGO Marvel minifigure design problems since the beginning of LEGO Marvel back in 2012. But also it doesn't even really look like LEGO used the concept art necessarily for some of this. It's a very strange minifigure. Regardless though, you have to acknowledge that LEGO did a full set of arm printing here, and then once again wrap around leg printing on the double molded legs. I cannot believe we have finally arrived, and this has become a mainstream thing in LEGO collectible minifigure series. But also we do have a sword laptop included here, which shows a quick little like blueprint diagram diagram of the Hex, which is so amazing. Monica Rambeau in her astronaut undersuit here is our third and final minifigure for the Wanda Vision section of this video, and you can see that we do have a really fantastic new hairpiece with her, which I was not expecting at all. I really did think LEGO would have just found a different alternative, but they actually did go the extra mile with her here as well. I do appreciate the face. I do think that looks really nice for the most part. The smile is okay, but the undersuit is definitely a problem because white and gray is not the correct color scheme. Again, not sure if this is because of concept art or whatever material LEGO was looking at for reference, but yeah, her costume is definitely a darker shade of like light blue and should have been sand blue here with dark blue accents here on the arms too. But hey man, I just appreciate that even she is getting new arm printing as well, and the hairpiece, I mean, I'm not really complaining here. I don't really mind that much, and it is cool how LEGO included a brick-built version of the drone that they sent into the Hex. Moving on to Loki, we have, of course, you guessed it, Loki in his Time Variance Authority uniform. I think LEGO did a great job with the torso printing and the leg printing as it extends the torso printing onto the belt and also the lines that are added to the legs there too. He's got a Time Variance Authority mug. You have Frog Thor included here, which I was not expecting. Kind of a weird looking pose for this guy, but he's got a little tiny Mjolnir. He might have a cape printed onto the back, and it seems like he might have a piece additionally on the back of his head too that you can't really see too well in a lot of these images, but I think that's hilarious and I was not expecting that at all. One problem though that I do have with this Loki minifigure is definitely the face. I don't think it's that bad. I do think that the original Loki face that we had in Thor Ragnarok was much better, and I mean, I'll be honest, Tom Hiddleston's face is definitely a difficult likeness to nail, so I'm not really like too upset about this. But we do also have Luke's hairpiece in black here, of course, from The Last Jedi, and I think that that is obviously the necessary and natural choice for LEGO to go with. I personally am going to be using the one that Nate's Minifigs is 3D printing on my custom one, but this is still a great minifigure. Sylvie is even better, even though unfortunately she, I would say, is one of the examples of one of the lackluster faces in this series. You do also have, you know, like alligator Loki included here without the actual Loki helmet, which is definitely a shame and kind of sucks. But the rest of Sylvie, I mean, the hairpiece with that crown integration, once again disproving anyone who was going to say that LEGO cannot integrate the Scarlet Witch's crown as a double molded piece into the hair. I definitely want to know if it was possible or if the Scarlet Witch's crown is just too complicated for LEGO to do the same treatment, because Sylvie definitely got it here. You have an entirely separate gold piece integrated into the hair, and I think it looks incredible. Also, you do have a fantastic torso design, little green sword for her here, kind of enchanted there, which is nice, and then also arm printing, which I was not expecting at all, and I would argue that like Sylvie didn't even need it, and if anything she needed leg printing, which unfortunately she does not receive here, which is okay. We have plenty of alternative pairs of legs that we can put in their place, and also I do think that she needed a cape. I think it's unfortunate she didn't come with one, but that's okay. For the rest of the minifigures in this set, we have the what if characters, and I mean, I think LEGO kind of went a little bit overboard by doing 5 what if characters. I definitely think we could have gotten some other minifigures in this series that we'll talk about in just a moment, but Captain Carter, this is just like Sam Wilson Captain America, one of the best minifigures LEGO has ever produced now. I mean, after seeing the one that's coming up in the Hydra Stomper retail set, my expectations were astronomically low, as I just figured they would copy and paste that god-awful version into the collectible minifigure series, but they did the exact opposite. Captain Carter features an entirely new Peggy Carter hairstyle piece. You have a fantastic face design, fully matching Haley Atwell's likeness, a great torso print, arm printing, double molded legs, once again with that amazing set of leg printing that LEGO is maintaining with this collectible minifigure series for the most part. And you do also have, of course, the British shield there, which looks so great as well. Some people are disappointed that LEGO did not opt for the trans blue Minecraft head for the Tesseract. Personally, I think this is fine, as I think that the Minecraft head choice is way too big, although of course I wish that we had a smaller piece by itself too. That would have been nice. T'Challa Star-Lord is here too with his own new hairpiece as well. You have an excellent face design matching Chadwick Boseman's more chipper expression, as of course he is Star-Lord in this version of reality now, so I think the smile is definitely warranted. And you have the updated Star-Lord helmet with the black hair now instead, which looks really cool. And you also have his super vibrant purple jacket, which looks great. You have the blasters there in in light gray again, which seems to be a new standard. I still prefer them to be gunmetal like Lego used to do, but that's okay, I guess. Once again, we have another pair of double molded legs with leg printing. In addition to that, again, another fantastic minifigure. Zombie Captain America is another one that is just, I mean, absolutely phenomenal. You have the Captain America helmet returning yet again with all of these really cool icy blue pieces to represent, of course, the zombified skin tone, and you have the ripped up Captain America costume presented in the way of the, tears in the costume on the torso design. You have the icy blue left arm. You have the printing on the right to kind of make it look like the costume is ripping. You have double molded legs in two different colors, one in dark red and then one also in that icy minty blue. And I don't even think the minifigure needed it, but you have the wraparound leg printing here too, which is just stellar, and also the shield, which looks amazing with that battle damaged effect, and the scratches almost look like blood running through there. But again, like I said, just phenomenal. Another brilliant minifigure in this series. Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, or of course Doctor Strange Spider-Man, is just another phenomenal minifigure. I think this is by far the best MCU Spider-Man minifigure that Lego has done up to this point. You can see here that we do have the amazing arm printing, again, double molded legs with wraparound design work. I mean, just amazing stuff here. The updated mask print is great. The Peter Parker head is not exactly Tom Holland. I don't really like that likeness at all either. I think that's kind of an issue, but some were definitely quick to point out the Doctor Strange cape is actually fabric here still, and not the new solid ABS plastic piece that is coming in the No Way Home sets pretty soon here. I mean, I think clearly that's just a development thing. I mean, I'm sure if Lego did this collectible minifigure series next year, I think this version of Spider-Man would have had that cape. Regardless, of course, he does also come with a standard web piece, so I think you're definitely getting your value out of this one for sure. Our final minifigure for this video and for the what if section, you can see we do have Gamora, and this is so cool. Absolutely love the new Gamora face. I appreciate the return of that hairpiece, of course, but really, I mean, the torso printing, the leg printing, and most importantly here, the arm printing with the double molded lime green and black arms with the armor printed on top of those. This is another phenomenal minifigure. Some people are disappointed by the double-bladed sword here, and I mean, honestly, if you just go on AliExpress, man, there are some really great alternatives that are very cheap and easy to acquire that you've probably seen before on Instagram or something. That's it, though. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'd love to hear back from you, especially on the different problems that the minifigures do have and the inaccuracies, the potential issues with concept art and the likenesses, but overall, those are all nitpicky things. This is hands down the best collectible minifigure series Lego has ever developed. And that being said, though, there are a few characters that I think were missing. So I don't know why these characters were omitted or why Lego opted for just 12 minifigures here instead of the usual 16. I think it could definitely be a budgetary reason. Maybe they did not have access to certain looks for a lot of these characters in advance and only received concept art for, a specific few. But to kind of go in the same order that I did the whole video in here, I think that John Walker, US agent, could have been included here. And if Lego didn't really have access to the black suit concept art, which I think they definitely did because Hasbro did for the Marvel Legends version, I think he would have been really cool and everyone would have preferred to have him instead of Zombie Captain America, for example. Zemo, on the other hand, I think is a no-brainer and really should have been included in this series. Any one of the Marvel What If figures, especially Gamora or Zombie Captain America or even Doctor Strange Spidey, could have been replaced with Baron Zemo, who would not have required any new mold or really even any crazy arm printing, just literally the printed head for the mask, maybe an alternative head for the likeness and the fur coat piece that Lego already has. I think he should have been here. Sharon Carter would have been really cool too, but I understand why Lego didn't include her. I think of all the characters that they're prioritizing here, she's pretty low on the list, unfortunately. For Wanda Vision, I really wish that Lego would have included Evan Peters' Quicksilver, but in this case, I'm pretty sure they probably didn't have reference material material for him, considering that was a big surprise. For Loki, obviously Mobius would have been really cool and a very easy minifigure for them to include. Obviously, it would have been really fun to get the rest of the Loki variants, and it's really confusing, you know, what reference material LEGO had and didn't have here, because obviously with Sylvie, we do get Alligator Loki, we get Frog Thor. Those little things were supposed to be surprise appearances in the show, but they made it into this collectible minifigure series, so I think classic Loki would have been really cool, or even President Loki as well. Now, in the case of this character, and spoilers if you've not seen the finale for Loki yet, but obviously I don't think LEGO had reference material for this guy either, because the reveal of the time variant of Kang controlling the sacred timeline was the big season finale surprise, and so the omission of He Who Remains is completely understandable, though it would have been really cool to have him, considering, again, he would have been a very easy minifigure for LEGO to produce. For What If, I think LEGO kind of covered everything. I mean, I wasn't expecting 5 of the minifigures to be devoted to What If, but I understand it, considering, I mean, LEGO may not have the opportunity to make these characters again. Regardless, I think that maybe like regular little Steve Rogers would have been cool from World War II, but I mean, otherwise, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. A lot of editing work went into this, so I'd appreciate any feedback you guys have down in the comments, or of course, hitting that like button below, because that keeps me on YouTube, I guess, or whatever. It's just, you know, we're all at the mercy of the algorithm as always, and so I appreciate your support, especially as I've been so absent in this past month, only posting very sporadically and not being able to work on my custom minifigures, as I've been away in California for the last month and a half, working on a big special project. Although, of course, you can still find me posting occasionally over on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and very soon, once I'm back home and working on figures again, over on my Patreon, if you'd like to be the first to see all of the new progress that's about to be made toward future showcases here as I get back to work. As when you see this video, I'm finally about to go home. But let me know, do you agree that this is the best CMF series of all time? I know a lot of Harry Potter fans out there tend to disagree. I personally am not the biggest Harry Potter fan, even though I have seen all the movies at least once, and so I am just so excited for September 1st. Obviously, these are going to start showing up well before September 1st, so get ready to start checking your local stores and even arriving early in the morning right as they open. It's not going to be easy to get these, and so good luck to everyone out there. I'm certainly going to try my best with a couple friends in the area, so with all that said, guys, thank you so much for sticking around till the end. Let me know if you did down in the comments, and I will catch you next time, so stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for watching, and keep creating. All right, bye-bye.